There's a new book on the market. A book about the most frightening time in a person's life. 8th grade. Yes, this is what saintly Dickie Fleegle looked like in the eyes of the nuns in the 7th. But in the 8th, Shakespeare called the 8th grade a witching time of night and hell itself.
This is the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself gives up contagion to this world.
And introducing Sister Mary, albeit virgin, playing herself. Dickie's antics helped send her into therapy, but she got revenge by locking her students behind closed doors. Dickie in the 8th. From just beyond the edge of light, from the darkness of the 8th, comes the terror of those who have, because of the curse of puberty, at least temporarily given their souls to the devil. This is a story of many such creatures. This is a story told through the eyes of Dickie in the 8th. Across the pages of history lurk the ominous shadows of horny Dickie. Through the ages, kids have known the fear and evil of the onset of puberty that walks through the shadows of the night, and kids have feared the dark spirits of the nuns. What lies behind these monstrous fears of puberty and the nuns that have chilled the hearts of kids and their parents since the beginning of time? Those who have studied the history of the 60s and the perilous age of 13 know the dark secrets locked in the vaults of time. To them, the words nuns and waywards brings a trembling fear and a shuddering terror. Great minds have sought to explain the 8th, but Dickie Fleegle, a master artist in explaining the age of pubescence, will give you new testimony to the horrors of 8th grade as Dickie saw it in his day. Let us try to understand these strange adolescents and those nun creatures and the evil forces behind them. In the old books, we read that a nun is one who has given her soul to God. To do this, they must renounce sex and all other cool stuff that adolescents find so intriguing. It is said that the nuns make a pact with God. They were given the power to cast their ominous shadows across the lives of others. They could cast evil spells upon their student victims' permanent records, and warning them that they could lose their minds. Those nuns could turn their victims' lives into nightmares of hell. They would begin school by celebrating what was known as the morning mass. Then after lunch at the playground, the 7th graders would be told some of those most terrible criminal acts, such as the slaying of children whose warm blood was offered up as a sinister sacrifice to ward off Satan. Then the kids' bodies were thrown to the dogs or grilled like bratwurst and eaten by the nuns. Yet, those same evil pubescent creatures who had their bodies changed into all sorts of hideous beasts pretended to be ordinary human beings such as athletes, scholars, and altar boys. As days went on, the nuns continued their relentless assault on puberty, and it is said that they called forth all the legions of the dead to battle for the souls of the living, for this is the goal of God.
If I could have known of the strange and haunting experience that was waiting for me, there are those who say that it was all a dream, and that it didn't happen at all, nor could it happen in the 20th century. But I tell you, it happened. Perhaps you will be able to believe it if I tell you about where it happened, and the people who lived there.
If you enjoyed this video or only were slightly irritated, then you should check out more at DickieandThe8th.com. Do it now or everyone that you love will hate you. If that doesn't sell you on this book, nothing will. Dickie and the 8th!